Across 6 seasons of the TV series and 3 films, including Downton Abbey, the grand finale, several places in the care of the National Trust have played host to the Crawley family and their servants. The National Trust is Europe's largest conservation charity that overlooks nature, beauty, and history for everyone to enjoy. From miles of coastline, woodlands, countryside, and the hundreds of historic buildings, gardens, and precious collections. Downton Abbey's team has always enlisted the help of the National Trust in securing locations for the franchise. In fact, by working alongside the Trust, TV shows and movies can show off the beautiful locations, but also directly benefit the places that star in the production. The income from location fees and permits goes straight back into conservation work to care for historic houses and landscapes, so that productions can continue to use them both on-screen and in real life for decades to come. What makes Downton Abbey so popular is its use of real-life locations to serve as backdrops for characters' homes. One such example is Byfleet Manor in Surrey, just south of London. Fans of the show will recognize it as Dower House, home to Lady Violet Crawley, the iconic dowager played by Emmy winner Dame Maggie Smith. A 17th century home, initially listed in May 2015 for £3.95 million along with 4 other parcels, including 3 extra residences and a development site, has now been sold. The entire estate drew international attention before ultimately being purchased by a UK-based buyer for £6 million. The home was sold by a local businesswoman, Julian, who had bought the house in the mid-2000s for about £1 million. Simon Ashwell, the head of UK-based real estate company Savills Weybridge, says that houses like this are rare to the market, so it wasn't surprising that Byfleet Manor went under offer within 12 weeks of coming to the market. Who knows if the buyer was a Downton Abbey fan, but the love for the show has consistently inspired the team to look for real-life locations for the show. Producer Liz Trubridge once said, "No Downton Abbey is complete without visiting beautiful country homes." And she's right. One famous place that makes a return in the grand finale is Basildon Park in Berkshire. Many of Basildon Park's grand reception rooms appear in the film, including the hall, dining room, drawing room, and the striking octagon room, known for its deep red walls. Basildon Park first served as the backdrop for Grantham House, the Crawley family's London residence in the original television series. It played a central role in the 2013 Christmas special, which followed preparations for Lady Rose's debutante ball. The production team later returned to the estate to film the Series 5 finale, where Grantham House featured prominently in Lady Rose's wedding to Atticus Aldridge. Clayton House makes its Downton Abbey debut in the grand finale, standing in as the interior of Petersfield House, where the Crawley family attends a grand ball. Lady Mary's striking entrance was filmed on Clayton's elaborate staircase, one of the most significant in the property's care. Nicknamed the Singing Staircase for its delicate metal balustrade designed to mimic the sound of rustling wheat, it also features rare materials like mahogany, ebony, ivory, and boxwood. Although normally too fragile for use, the staircase was carefully prepared for filming with expert supervision. To minimize wear, actors wore soft-soled shoes whenever their feet appeared on camera. But why are film conservators needed? Surely production is well aware of the risk and high insurance rates when filming in historic homes or grounds. Well, according to insurers, most damage during filming occurs during setup or pack-down, which is why production crews must work with conservators or the owners of the location to understand how to best move their cast and crew around. In fact, an accident took place during the filming of the grand finale. On the first day of filming at Highclere Castle, for example, a turquoise chest owned by the Countess of Carnarvon was accidentally knocked over and had to be repaired by Sotheby's. Much of the guidance is practical, emphasizing the importance of strong, tailored contracts. Property owners are also encouraged to plan for standard production needs like vehicle access, cable routes, security, and designated smoking areas. So what role do filming conservators play? Filming conservators help assess and manage production requests, advising on what's safe to approve and what isn't. They identify suitable filming areas, recommend which objects should be removed or protected, and use their understanding of film crew roles, workflows, and equipment to minimize risk. During filming, they supervise activity to ensure contracts are followed, quickly addressing any issues that arise. They also assist with prep and cleanup, and are skilled at handling last-minute, often unusual, crew requests, finding practical solutions that keep historic interiors safe. Filming on historic sets typically happens in 3 stages. The first stage is prep, where sets are built and props are brought in. The next stage is the actual shoot. The final stage is the strike, where all props and equipment are cleared out. While these stages usually occur on separate separate days, they can sometimes overlap. The location manager and team are on site throughout to serve as the main point of contact. The art and prop departments are typically the main teams on site. If any flattage or scaffolding is needed, construction and riggers may also be present. All props are checked for pests or mold, and felt pads are used to protect historic floors. Any building work is closely supervised. Most departments will be present on site, so it's essential to understand their roles. The first assistant director, first AD, manages crew logistics and, along with the location manager, is a key contact for staying informed. Having the daily call sheet is helpful, as it outlines the day's scenes, key info, and timings like lunch. Crew must be supervised in all historic or sensitive areas. Space can be tight, so take care not to be visible during filming. To restrict access to certain areas, use locked doors or clear signage, while ensuring emergency exits remain accessible. When striking, all props are packed up and taken away. Any flattage, scaffolding, or other construction is then removed. While the team prefers to film on location when they can, there are some homes that they cannot film in due to various reasons. Expensive furnishings, delicate flooring or walls, or decorations that cost thousands or millions to ensure or replace. For example, Highclere Castle is one location where the production design team had to reconstruct certain rooms on sound stages, rather than filming on location. All the bedrooms and servants' quarters were built on sound stages, as in previous Downton Abbey productions. The downstairs servant areas, inspired by real historic homes with original kitchens and thick stone walls, were designed to evoke a black and white film aesthetic, visually contrasting with the vibrant, upstairs world. For the grand finale, a soundstage smoking room was redesigned as a music room, featuring blue damask walls and brown patterned drapes to create a lighter, more refined atmosphere. Many furnishings, such as the red settees in the library, are permanent fixtures at the historic location. However, certain valuable items, like a desk once owned by Napoleon, were removed for safekeeping during filming. Recreating detailed spaces like the library on a soundstage would be prohibitively expensive, especially with its extensive book collection. Anna Robbins, the costume designer since season 5, brings a deep understanding of each character and a clear vision for their appearance in every story. For the latest film, set in 1930, she embraced the evolving fashion of the era, incorporating more distinctly 30s elements. The updated silhouettes and waistlines give the costumes a more modern feel, with some pieces, like a standout red dress, appearing contemporary enough for today's red carpet. Robbins also uses costumes to reflect character dynamics and emotional shifts. In the early scenes, where Mary is particularly vulnerable, she is dressed in lighter tones than usual. In one notable moment, Mary wears pink while Edith appears in dark navy, an intentional reversal of their typical color schemes. This subtle shift underscores the character's emotional states and highlights Robbins' thoughtful approach to visual storytelling. And how did the creators of the series come together to craft the farewell? Julian Fellows developed his signature multi-arc, multi-narrative storytelling style after working with Robert Altman on Gosford Park, where he discovered a format that suited him well. From the outset of Downton Abbey, he applied this approach, ensuring each character had moments to shine and explore their emotional journeys. As the series progressed, some characters naturally took on more central roles, with Mary envisioned as a key figure from the very beginning. Director Simon Curtis would work with Fellows to help evolve the script and concept. The process unfolded in 3 main stages: initial discussions to shape the story, a quieter phase where the draft was written, and a final stage of collaboration to refine the details. The team behind the show worked closely and collaboratively throughout. At the end of the day, they realized the story is really about change and how people adapt to it. They focused on an aristocratic family because between 1912 and 1930, their place in society shifted dramatically. While some still held influence for a time, it was clear by the end that survival meant finding a new way to live. Thanks for joining us behind the scenes. We hope you enjoyed getting a closer look at how Downton Abbey brings authenticity and realism to life. If you like this kind of content, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss what's coming next for Collider Behind the Scenes.